Hello and welcome to Massive Awakening. So the message I got today, I didn't do reading. I came into the waiting room and grabbed a magazine. The one that I saw, which was this one. It said Reminisce, Love's First Kiss, and Blind Date Victory. And somehow I saw this page and it was beautiful to me, and it just raised something within me that allowed me to be vulnerable. This caption said, take a chance on love. And I think for a while, even myself, I think with so much that has happened in our lives, we start to not even know what love is, what it feels like, what it looks like. Of course, we know God is love. He's the ultimate love. But I mean that intimate love shared between two people. I don't want to say, I'm not going to say that, but the intimate love shared between two people that's not just sex. It's not just you get off and I get off. It's like intimacy where you guys don't mind just laying under each other, talking about nothing. I almost want to say like the middle school, high school love that's just pure, unadulterated. It's not, there's no strings attached to it. Like you don't love them because of what they did for you or anything. It's the way you feel when you're around them. And then this part said, too embarrassing to resist. I didn't read the whole title, but I was looking at it because it's like, what I could feel is that it's the love that always evades us spiritually and psychologically, because we deal with so much stuff in our life. We deal with people passing away. We deal with failure in our own lives. We deal with pain. We deal with criticism for others, ourselves. We deal with blame. We deal with responsibilities or negligent behavior. We deal with so many things that we just become, I don't want to say blinded, or we become numb. That's what it is, to real love, true love. And we accept love the way it is presented. And sometimes, I mean, it's like your steak. It can be well done, medium rare, or I forget the other one, well done, medium rare, whatever it is, because I forget what it is. Overcooked, undercooked, however. But that's like how we accept love. Sometimes it's good on the outside, but on the inside where it matters, some people like theirs pink and not completely done. And some people like it well done, meaning that it's good on the inside and the outside. And that's just the human aspect. Like love is deep, and some people can love you on the outside but not on the inside because they have no love within them, or they don't know that level of love. And so I was sitting here, I did write, but I'm not going to read that, but I felt really inspired to do this, really drawn to do this within my spirit. And it goes on and on. It says a lot of stuff, and it's an up-to-date magazine, but it looks so throwback. So it's like the throwback love. Like right here, this was so cute to me. I don't want to block the light out. It says, it's a poem. Here's the setup, Valentine. Hold up, it's going in and out. Don't need no dreamy orchestra to make my pulses dance. Don't need no big-eyed hypnotist to put me in a trance. Don't need no stove to warm me up. No push to make me fall, to get me in the mood for love. I just need you, that's all. And won't you be my Valentine? And I'm not sure like why the Valentine thing is right there, but it does say February, March 2018, so it must was like a Valentine's Day article. But we know like life is timeless and messages, they come when you're ready to receive them. Spirit comes when you're ready, knocking at the door. Doesn't mean that you'll actually receive it, but when you're in the best position to receive it, it will happen. And so this was just beautiful to me, so I just decided I don't think there's anything else, and I'm going to make sure. And I believe they got married, and that captured me too. It said a roller coaster ride to her heart. I didn't read the story, but I imagine it's a pretty story. And I hope I don't get in trouble for sharing it, because I don't know how anybody, but it's in a magazine, so it shouldn't, it was an article written. But it's like the titles of it, a roller coaster ride to her heart. He fell big time for that little lady. And it's like what we go through as women, either when we fall in love or when we're looking to be loved back, it's a roller coaster ride. And sometimes we meet so many different people that, like I said, they offer us love on a plate, but we don't know who cooked it. You know, we don't know if it's well done or medium rare. We don't know. And then when you first eat steak, like I didn't know what that meant. What do you mean well done, medium rare? What do you mean? Like I remember watching it on TV shows, and I would see the cooks be like, it has to be pink in the middle, it needs to be a certain color pink or something like that. So I knew it was different levels to cooking a steak, but I didn't know what it was called. So when you first meet love or first get introduced to love or first have a love experience, it's your first time. So you don't know if you want it well done, medium rare. You don't know if you want love with intimacy or love with passion, or if you just want love that's conditioned, or maybe you want love that's unconditional. We don't know how deep we want our love to be. So when we're praying for love or asking God or even spirit or trying to love ourselves, we have to know or understand what we're asking of ourselves. It's like, God, teach me how to love myself. Okay, but what do you mean? Teach me how to love. And I've gotten to the point where I don't ask God to teach me anything. I just say, God, I want to learn or show me how, because when you get taught when I get taught things, I like to learn the hard. I don't like to learn the hard way. I let that go. But when I get taught things, it makes me feel dumb, or it puts me in a trance where, because I'm critical, and I can say that, just admit it. It puts me in a trance where I feel like, why didn't I know this at first? And I beat myself up while I'm getting taught. And when I was in school, I didn't like the teachers teaching me. Like, I listened to them, but I learned my own way. Like, I tried to go around them for some reason. And throughout my life, when I asked God to teach me certain stuff, the way he taught me was so, it was simple, but it was my mindset not understanding the simplicity of it, because I overthink and I overanalyze. So something simple as a pen, I could look at it so many different ways. So I had to, talk to God and be like, okay, I don't want you to teach me how to love myself. I want you to show me or help me to love myself. So it's the way you present it on that plate. And if you don't know what you are asking for, you're going to be asking it the wrong way. Just like I had to learn not to just continuously say, teach me, because I don't want to, not that I don't want to be taught, I didn't like the way I was being taught because it messed with my mindset. But it's different for everybody. But the main thing is, it's like, God, help me love myself. Okay, what do you mean by loving yourself? Just love myself, okay? So you have a good day and you're happy. Okay, but then you have a sad day and you don't know how to deal with that day and be happy within that day, because you have to ask God, help me to love myself when I'm in the right and when I'm in the wrong. That keeps you from being arrogant or prideful. God, help me to love myself enough to admit that I'm wrong. Help me to love myself enough to be proud even when I fail. Because when I fail, and I'm just saying different things, you can say whatever, but when I fail, I feel weak and I feel like just giving up on life. I feel like, oh my gosh, it's another embarrassing moment. Somebody's going to say something, somebody's going to do something. And, and then sometimes I just do it psychologically to myself, and I understand that. But it was the way I was asking God to help me, and it was how much I was asking him to help me with. That's why I say when it's presented on different platters. So back to the love, that was just an example. So back to the love, when you first meet love or get acquainted with love, you don't know how deep it is. So you're asking God for love. Show me how to love, or show me the person that loves me. But what kind of love do you want? Do you want a love that stands by you right or wrong? Or do you want a love that just stands by you when you're right? Do you want a love that stands by you, that accepts your beliefs? Because nowadays we live, not even nowadays, it's been a society where people believe differently than other people, and it causes conflict. So when you're asking God to present you with love or spirit, to allow that person to love you, you want them to love every part of you, even the parts of you that they don't like. And sometimes in love, we try to change the parts of us that our partner doesn't like so that they can accept us more, or so that we can feel more accepted by them, or whatever. I don't want to say it's a dysfunction, but that's what I feel like. It's a dysfunction within humanity, that we have to change certain things about ourselves to get that connection with somebody, but we don't. We should authentically be ourselves. Now, when you're talking about changing your attitude because you're always aggressive or forceful, that's a different thing. But that's not to change your attitude. That's to improve your response. Because sometimes your attitude is not that you have an attitude, it's just that you are a reactive person and you don't know how to slow down or be mindful of the way you respond. So that's different. But if somebody tells you that they don't like the way you dress, you need to change your attire, or you need to change the way you pray, or your belief system, or the God you believe in, or the way that you practice your religion, or you need to change this or change that, then that's a sign really for you to have that moment within yourself, that talk within yourself and honor yourself and say, is this something that I want to change for me, or am I doing it for someone else? When you have to change, and some things I understand, compromise. That is okay, understandable, completely acceptable. But when it comes to changing it and altering it, and it's like too much of a change and too much of an alteration till you become a totally different person, and you don't recognize yourself, and you have to find yourself again because you got lost in the identity that someone created for you, that is not healthy. That is a surefire sign that you have gotten a type of love that you didn't really ask for, or really didn't understand what it was. Not that it's not helpful. It probably is going to help you. The love you have thus received, you can label it how you want to. Medium rare, well cooked, overdone. Like some love is just like overdone, like I'm done with this, like I'm done with this situation because I'm done with this situation or whatever. And it doesn't have to be something that just tears you down or make you feel so angry at yourself or the person, or so sad that you get into a depressive state. It's just to look at the type of love you have received thus far in your life and decide what kind of love you want today, because we can alter our situations every minute. And I know this honestly within myself, because I can be mad one minute and completely different the next minute because I have changed my mindset about whatever anger or resentment. It's like, why are you angry? Why are you resentful? And I didn't mean to give like a whole dialogue of the way it should go, but I just felt that just took me somewhere. So now to the juicy, but once you get past the basics, because we have to, and I don't want to just do that. I understand that we have to get through the basics of love and this is what I hear, it's like a rough draft. It's like, say you write out your prayer, or you got this business project, you got this book you're trying to do. Every game plan has a rough draft. And you have to go over that rough draft and clean out the edits. I hear edit copy. You got a rough draft, you got an edit copy. And then you get the final paper. Just like when you're in school, you can't turn in just a paper because sometimes the teacher requires you to do a rough copy. I want to see your rough draft and your edit copy and your final copy because I want to make sure you really took the time and went over this. And so this is what I'm hearing, that this is the rough, you have been through the rough draft stage of love. And since you have been through the rough draft stage of love, it is now time for you to edit. I said that, Sean, I didn't mean to, just can't. To edit with power. Edit your love life. And it don't even have to be your love life. It can be, well, we're talking about love, so leave it there. Edit your love life because you have to understand the love that you accept will be the love that you put out, will be the love that you become. The love you accept will be the love that you become. We know that. We know that. Whatever you put into your body comes out. We know that. So if you putting, whatever you put into your mind comes out. If you putting like damaged love or abusive love or drastic love or even like harmonious love, humble love, sisterly love, worldly love, animalistic love, that's what comes out of you. Empowering love. But it's all what you are putting inside of you. That's what comes out. So during this phase in our lives, we're in the edit copy. So some of the love in the rough draft, we have to look at it and say, okay, I don't want that love in my edit copy, the revised copy. No, I don't want my love in that copy. And it can transfer into your business because I'm hearing that like love, some people love their business, they love their careers, they love their finance, they love their comfort. So you can edit business when it comes to that. But it's only if it's something that you love to do, not if it's something that you're just doing for reasons unknown. It has to be a career that you love, or pets, animals, anything that you love. Whatever, your creativity, your hobbies, if you love, it's time to edit those. Like edit while you're doing it and edit it in a sense that is it adding to me or taking from me? Is it causing me to become angry or happier? Is it making me more harmonious or more hateful? And it's not to blame the person that is giving you that. And it's not to blame yourself for accepting that. It's just by looking at it and saying, okay, this is not right. And sometimes in your edit copy, you might have to change a word completely. So you might have to completely delete a person out your life. Sometimes you can keep them. Sometimes you can't. But when you keep that word, you need to define that word to make sure that it fits in the paragraph or fits in the sentence that you have it in. And it's the same as that person. Define that person. How do you define that person? You look them up. Well, when you define a word, you look it up in a dictionary. So you're going to have to look it up in something higher than you, maybe spirit. Meditate on that person's name. Pray to God about that person. And you can ask them if you know when they are being honest and truthful, or if you know when they're being vulnerable. And listen, even if they're not being honest and truthful or vulnerable, feel their vibe, feel their intention behind what they're saying. And if they don't fit in the sentence or the love that you are creating, they should be deleted out of your life. They don't need to be included in the edit copy. They don't need to be included in the revised copy. Now, understand you still have a final draft. If you want to, you can turn in a revised copy or the edit copy if you want to. But you also have a final copy, a final draft. And that's totally up to you as an individual. Like for me, I used to say it correctly. I have moments where I will rush and I have moments where I will take all day. And I've learned to allow both of those moments to mentor me into saying some things I need to act on right away and some things I need to wait. So for me, I've had a rough copy. I'm in the edit copy phase, but being so long in the edit copy phase make me feel like even when I get my edit copy, I might have to do a final draft. God, I might can't even submit my edit copy because the rough draft was so rough. So rough. But nevertheless, it's saying that you still should take a chance on love. You shouldn't block love out completely to the point where you're like, I don't want love. I don't want to see love. I don't want to be around love. And I just want to watch. And then sometimes we get to the point where we say, okay, I'm happy everybody's in love and I just want them to be in love. Because I know me, I'm just like, okay, as long as you're happy, good. I'm not worried about nothing else. As long as you're in love, good. I'm going to do me and put on that like strong, brave face. Like, it's all good. Love, because love is still love. And you can embody somebody else's love. You can embody love from animals. You can embody love from nature. Like, I can go sit in the park and be full of nature's love and be okay, but spiritually and physically, mentally, we do have to have love. We have to have intimacy as beings on this earth. We have to have intimacy, and we're granted, we have the right to experience love at a deeper level, but it's all if we want to. It's all if we want to. You know, taking into account everything that you allow yourself to understand and allow yourself to move on from, and taking into account that you take your time to do your paperwork, write your list out, or write that plan out, and make sure that you edit. Like when I was in school, they used to say check, double check. That's the only way to ensure. And then, of course, it's not like you go and make a list of insane demands. We know not to do that. And it's not like we write it all down and then go looking for it. Once you do it, give it over. Like, I used to write things down that I wanted or things that I felt, and I would leave it in certain spots. Like, I would leave it somewhere. If I wanted my car to be protected, I would leave a note by my car. I would hide it, like when you roll the window down in the crack. Or if I wanted God to bless me with something, or if I wanted to let something go, I would write a note and then I would throw it somewhere. Sometimes I would leave notes around for people to read, and I'm like, whoever reads this, bless them. You know, different things. So when you make that letter, figure out a way to release it so that you're not holding on to that letter. And you're not making your love life just that letter. Because when it shows up in your life, it might be more than that letter, because we know that God said, you know, he'll give you more than you've ever seen in your life. He said, you don't know the thoughts I have towards you, of an expected end. More than you can ever imagine. It's like whatever you ask for, he's like, I got the ability to double that. As long as you're not being, as long as you're willing to accept it. Say it that way. Because I don't want to be hard. As long as you're willing to accept that God can double it. Double for your trouble. Double for your trouble. So that's just what I felt about this. And I know everybody is, I don't know everybody, but I'm pretty sure people are looking for love and true intimate love. And some people have allowed love to go without, or dimmed their love, or withheld their love for whatever reason. But this is the season to trust in love again, but also to remember how love was presented to you at first, and even how you presented love, and start to edit the things within yourself that you don't want to do to anyone else as well, while you're editing what you don't want done to you. Because love is a two-way street. It has to be mutual love. Mutual love that's understanding, that's empathetic, that is loving, that's not, that doesn't take from you but adds to you. You know, I just thought that this was so pretty, because I just sat there and talked the whole time that I had it turned one way. But I just thought that this was so pretty, and I fell in love. I fell in love with love. And sometimes you have to do that. before that person can come, you have to fall in love with love. That's why I said I'm happy to see other people when they're in love and doing their things, even on movies. I'm like, that is so beautiful. You know, it gets to the point where you just admire the love around you, even in nature, even in animals, even in your animals, your toys, your things. Like, I just started falling back in love with like cartoons and the way, the comedy of it, just falling in love with little things, falling in love with art. That is love. Love is as love does. And when you see love around you, it becomes you, and you can radiate love, and then it comes back to you tenfold. But it's all in getting through that rough draft, understanding the edit copy, and if you want to do a final draft, that is totally up to you. But this is the season, and if you have already developed all of those things, and like now you're just in a stage where you're wondering, or where you have an opportunity to accept love or experience love, take a chance, because it says right here, it's just a blind date. You don't have to marry him, or maybe you will. So sometimes, you know, we get into that mode where we're like, I want to have fun, but I don't want to be too serious too soon, because that's how things get, you know, awkward, or the fun goes away, or just, you know, you're not fully understanding yet if it's the cook well done or, you know, overcooked. So you're like, I just want to take my time right now so I can see what it's like and how the inside looks before I just rush into it. And that is okay, but first you have to take that step, that leap of faith, and just have fun with it, because it's nothing, pure love, nothing, how do you say this? Pure love cannot ever harm you. It can't. It's toxic love and damaged love and broken love that harms us. But pure love, innocent love, that's why I said it's like the type of love that I feel God is presenting to his children, you know, is that love that comes from within, that middle school, high school love, that crush, that like, that playful love, to where you don't have to be too serious with each other. Usually the serious matters for finances, or if someone is, you know, not feeling good, you're serious about making sure that you nurse them back to health, or if the kids have to get homework done, that's the only time when it should be a serious matter between you two, getting down to the basics. But when it comes to love, it's a lighthearted scenario that God wants to create, that I feel Spirit wants to create within all of us, that was really taken from us. It has been taken from, I believe, every human on this earth. We have been tested in the terms of love and lighthearted love, to making it so serious, to where if you, and we point the finger to where, like, I don't want to get into a preachy stage, but you're like, you don't love me because of this, and if you love me, you wouldn't have, you know, to where it's a petty love. Oh, I love you because you did this. You know, sometimes you have people around you who love you when you're doing something for them, and if you decide to say no, they're just like, all just no whole bars. You this and that and the third, you know, only to come back and, you know, let you know that they were in their feelings. And, you know, it's time out for that type of love, because love heals a nation. Love heals the wounded. Love carries over into joy. Like, when you're in love, you're truly happy and joyful. When you're in love that is pure, you're truly happy and joyful. There's no pain in that. There's no fake in that. It's like a feeling of, it says like a feeling of sobriety and still being high. It's like you're sober, but you high. And even if you high, you sober, because you're not in that state of mind to where you tragically thinking wrong or negatively influencing anyone else. So it's that lighthearted, empathetic love where you guys just enjoy each other's company. And don't feel like if you leave, I'm going to be without you. It's not no strings attached. Just love. Just pure love. Because we're here to love freely. And this is getting long, but we're here to love freely. And that's why when I talk about that middle school, high school love, that's why this was there. That's that old time love. That's that old time love what grandma and grandpa had, where their friends was around and it wasn't no drama, and nobody wanted grandma and grandpa to leave because they presence. Anytime something happened, grandma and grandpa gotta be there because the love that they shared. Even if they had little small tips, it wasn't deep as we go, as the new generation go. We go deep. We go deep. I've not ever known grandma or grandpa to bust each other's car or break each other's windows or damage each other verbally in front of anybody else. Not to say it wasn't done, but the love they had was like, we're secure enough not to have to go that far. We can disagree, but we don't have to put each other down in the middle of our disagreement, because that's a different type of disagreement. That's just petty, and that's just immature, and that's just unhealthy for the both of us. And so that's the type of love that I feel is being restored within humanity, but it's all in who's willing to take that journey and take that step and go through the rough draft. Look over the rough draft. It's like looking over your life and what kind of love was in your life. And it could be related to family situations. Maybe you didn't have like good relationships with sister or brother or auntie or uncle, but it's to look at that rough draft and figure out why. What did you do to block yourself from their love, or what was done for them to not receive your love? What did they do to block you out? And what did they do to stop you or cause you to not want to go to that risk? And when you're doing your rough draft, remember your edit copy is deleting the things that no longer fit. It's defining it, looking up the definition and say, does this really fit my idea of love? And if it doesn't, delete it so that you can have pure love, which transcends into pure joy, which transcends into a pure life, which means what the Bible stated, blessed are the pure in heart. So in order to remain blessed in this season, in order to receive your blessings in this season, God is calling us to have a pure heart. And it starts with purity and love. Not a sexual love or a lust or a deviant vibe, just a pure love. And you will know it when you feel it. And sometimes you won't. So you better look over their rough draft and see what's in it that allows you not to be pure anymore. Because the purity comes from within. And if we have impurities within ourselves, of course, we have to go see the doctor. And we know who that is. Say we know who that is. I'm not going to play. But just become more pure and allow him to cleanse us. You repent of your sins and allow him to purify you and